Chief Bogo, there's a robbery in progress. Do you copy?
Hey, Shannon, I'll go in the back. You go in the front. Over.
Oh, no, it's fine. I'll go get the car ready. It's okay.
Officer Hop, I am in pursuit! Woo-woo!
Oh my, seriously? Again, this is really going to...
Oh, well, not our problem anymore. At least we got time to record our podcast.
Hello and welcome to Real Talks, the only podcast show where you can find two hosts who argue like Nick Wilde and Judy Hopps, minus the hustling and parking tickets. I am your host, Shannon.
I'm your co-host, Samaa.
And today we're unpacking the case file on the mystery of Zootropolis number 2. Now, I'm so excited to get into this one.
Yeah, you are, aren't you?
I'm radiating today with this. It's going to be the most dense, heaviest podcast there is, so make sure you've got your thinking brains on. If you haven't watched the movie already, as I say in every other episode, please do go and watch it. There's so much to kind of take away from this film. Now, the first movie was released in March of 2016. I was 10 back then. It was a very highly successful Disney Pixar release following the mystery tale of the unlikely detective duo of Bunny and Fox, Judy and Nick. And this has been my favourite Disney Pixar film ever since the first
for sure,
one.
yours.
Like, constantly.
You constantly talk about this.
It's so good. So I've got a question.
Yeah?
So here it's called Zootropolis. Is it called Zootropolis where you're from? Because I know some places call it Zootopia, so
I think
know
it was
America.
Zootopia.
You think it was Zootopia?
I
Okay.
think so, because I always said Zootopia.
Zootopia. I mean, Zootopia rolls off nicer, but
Yeah.
basically I did some research into it, and there's a thing called globalization or glocalization, and it's basically where you tweak some already established ideas to meet the location's needs.
Yeah.
So in America, I think that they don't say Tropolis to describe a city, they say Topia. Hence
Yeah.
why America is Zootopia, here is Zootropolis. So I thought that was really interesting. A fun little fact
Yeah.
before we dive into the second part. Now, here we go. You ready?
Yep.
Got anything to say before we dive into the second part?
Are you a Nick or are you a Judy?
Oh, okay. I feel like as a character, I would be most like Judy because I'm very optimistic
Yeah.
about making the world a better place. For a while after watching the first film, I wanted to be a cop because of Judy.
Yeah.
But I feel like I really like Nick. I feel like you're a Nick.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I get the Nick vibes from you. The humour in making jokes is a
But-
defence mechanism. I
Yep.
feel like is right up your street. Zootropolis 2. We start off with a recap of the last Zootropolis. It was only a very quick montage
Yeah.
right at the start, where we pick up basically where Mayor Bellwether got arrested after the last one. Wilde is introduced into the ZPD, Zootropolis Police Department, and they get crowned the first Bunny Fox duo team ever to be in the police force, which is really cool. We meet a new mayor played by Patrick Warburton. He was also in The Emperor's New Groove. I think he played Kronk. But he was playing a very dashing horse called Mayor Winddancer.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also get introduced to the concept of the weather walls, allegedly created by the Lynxleys, that help keep each biome tailored to the animals that live there. So
Which biome would you be in?
would I live in? Ooh. But remind me that so there's the tundra, which was the snow,
Yeah.
and then there was more of like an arid desert climate.
Yeah.
There was a I probably would say the rainforest would be quite cool just because of the storms and things like that. What about you?
In my blood, it would be the...
Like the arid desert climate.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Judy is energetic as ever, believing that she can make the world a better place, while Nick is the most nonchalant, coolest fox
Literally
ever.
me and you.
He's just so hands in pockets. He wears those pig glasses a couple times. He's like, I don't know why I'm here, bro. I'm just chilling. I'm like,
Literally me
I'm
and
just
you.
enjoying this journey right now. Yeah, so I really do like Nick's character. Hence why I'm your friend. That explains the friend
Aw.
dynamic, doesn't it? We're also introduced, talking about iconic duos, to the Zebros.
The Zebros!
Zebros. You told me to look out for their names.
Yeah.
Do you remember the one? You remembered one name, but you couldn't remember the other.
Yeah. Zebrowski?
Zebrowski's one, and then I looked back and I found Zebraxton.
Sounds right, right?
You were right.
Yeah.
You were right.
I was
You weren't
right.
left. You were right, left. Right. Right,
yeah,
left,
back-
right. Yeah, so we're introduced to the latest cop team, Zebros. One reminded me of Justin Bieber with their really funky hair. The
Really?
Zebrowski. Like, he had, like, blonde hair, and it was really, like, he was so chill.
So the old Justin?
Justin? Old Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not latest Justin Bieber. Yeah, young Justin Bieber.
We're gonna talk about pop culture now.
Yeah, we're moving on to pop culture. We do actually mention Shakira later, so buckle your seatbelts, folks. So anyway, moving on with the story, we watched them go on their first case. They use the same strategy as before. In the first movie, Nick uses a child to get what he wants, and they do that in the second movie. They
Did you notice his hat? It was a.
I know he wore a shirt that said "I'm a fox dad" or something like that.
No, but his hat had the ice creams he was doing in the beginning.
Oh, popsicles as they call them. Popsicles, get your popsicle. He had that in his hat.
Yeah.
Did not notice that. No, I thought that was really clever because it was basically a very quick case that they did, but it showed that they were still quite a dysfunctional duo. They weren't listening to each other. The thing that I thought was really interesting about this as well is, Summer, how up to date were you with the fandom after the first Zootropolis?
I was not up to date, but I knew there were a lot of people saying they wanted Judy and Nick
to be a couple.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of references to this. I do believe that the animators and the developers of this second movie did a lot of research into the fandom because they play so heavy on the idea of Judy and Nick getting together, although they never do. So then they have Nick the mom play, like in this little case that they're doing.
Nick was the dad.
Sorry, no, Nick the dad. Sorry, Judy the mom, and they have a little baby.
Yeah.
But I can't think of the animal, but that. Like the inspector guy, whoever is running the
like an anteater. He was
that's
like
right. That's the anteater. He was like, yeah, fox and bunny, okay. And I loved that because that was almost the developers talking to the fandom through that anteater by like, okay, guys, like that's a bit of a weird concept, but we'll go with it.
Yeah.
So I really thought that was clever. Nick even calls a babe, which again plays on that. Like they're not actually a couple in this universe, but they're just taunting and doing little things like that.
Question: do you want them to be together?
I love how this movie put them the way they did because I personally, they're such a great duo, but I could never see them dating. So how they portrayed them in this movie was phenomenal.
Perfect.
I think absolutely perfect. Also, I've actually got a screenshot of it. So Linksley, I did get a screenshot, was actually right at the start in the dockyard. You've got the...
Oh my god.
That's Porbert. So when you if you go and watch the movie a second time, when they're in all the crates, you'll see only for like 2 or 3 seconds, Porbert, who we later learn is a villain, of course, again, spoilers, he does feature on the left in there. So that's like really clever to spot afterwards. Moving on. Nick and Judy are constantly referred to as partners, which I thought, again, was very clever wordplay because it wasn't dating partners, it was work partners, but out of context we could then interpret that as a relationship. So very clever from the scriptwriter's point. During that case, they end up driving through Sheepshire.
Oh my god, that scene.
Yeah, that was really clever. So ultimately, Nick and Judy did complete the case. The Zebros take credit for it. And Zebros! Yeah, go on, fist bump! Zebros! But they're basically presented again as a dysfunctional duo, which Chief Bogo later makes sure that they go to partners in crisis. Again, a play on the relationship thing, but also they did have a bit of a crisis on the last case.
Yeah.
During the last case, though, Judy came across some reptile skin, which is then very teasing of a snake.
Yeah.
Which at this point we learn snakes are not allowed in Zootropolis for reasons unknown. Oh no. We also get very briefly introduced to Nibbles Maple Stick, the Beavers podcast.
Yeah.
I did nudge cinema in the summer.
Cinema in the summer.
I did nudge Summer in the cinema and was like, hey, that's us. We're the Beaver. We're doing a podcast. Where we see a little snippet of Nibbles basically highlighting a theory of snakes being framed to Zootropolis, but it's very loose at this point. Nothing's kind of made clear. Then Chief Bogo calls them into the office, has a bit of a word to them, says they're going to pull them away from the field at the moment until they've kind of got their act together. Nick makes a yo mama joke.
Your mom!
And now, another thing that's very off topic, but also obviously related, is I really liked how they knew their target audience.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because... Again, you were 14 when the first movie came out. I was 10. It was I feel like it's very tailored to Gen Z, which we saw the Yo Mama joke. But they knew their audience grew up. They knew that most kids wouldn't have watched Zootropolis now.
And a lot of adult jokes.
There was so many. I've got them all written down. There's so many adult jokes, but like the Yo Mama joke, I feel like that was very much our generation. Like I remember.
That's you.
I still say it now. I'm like, Yo Mama.
Oh my god! Every
I'm so sorry, Summer's mom, if you're listening to this. It's not personal.
every time I say, "Oh yeah, do you have this?" She's like, "Nope, but I have your mom.
I am your mama." Yeah. So I did have to have a good laugh when Nick did that. But again, I just thought I love how the animators knew their audience and they really played with that. There's more to come with that. So yeah, during this time again, Chief Bogo tells him that he's going to take him away from the field. He has a hearty one-to-one with Judy, which Nick interrupts. That also further shows their dynamic of, I don't know, Judy's very emotional and she's driven by wanting to make the world a better place. Nick does not care. He's like, I don't know what's going on, bro. I'm just here. This seems like a very U2 conversation. I'm just going to leave. Bogo pulls him up and calls him about his humour, which me and you spoke about our dynamic at the start. Nick says, quote unquote, it's a defence mechanism for a traumatic childhood. Do you remember what Bogo says back?
Do you want a traumatic adulthood?
That got such a laugh in the cinema. And the way Nick folds his glasses, stands back, is like, I would not. And I just, again, I think that they knew the target audience for that film grew up. And it then gave such a laugh in cinema because everyone was like, oh my gosh, yeah, I don't want a traumatic adulthood. Completely understand Nick. So, again, really, really like that. This is only the first 10 minutes of the film, by the way. So it really shows. So anyway, like I said, he sends them to Partners in Crisis, the therapy little chat they have. It comes out that Judy is a constant talker while Nick, again, is nonchalant Nick. I'm going to call him nonchalant Nick now. Says nothing. Presented as a disconnected duo as well because Judy is so self-absorbed and she doesn't ever think about Nick, which you said later, didn't you?
Oh my
She's so
god.
selfish.
I literally whispered to Shannon halfway through. I was like, why is she
So selfish.
why is she so selfish?
Yeah.
I hate her.
So, like, driven by wanting to make the world a better place that she completely
like, I
forgets
get-
to make
I
Nick's
get-
world a better place.
Yeah, I get where she's coming from, but it's crazy to see this dynamic in Hollywood that a man is more like he takes care of her more than she takes care of herself and him.
Yeah, that's true.
Usually the man is like, oh, I don't give a about anyone but myself in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But this time it was.
He was very
even in
selfless,
the end.
wasn't he?
Even in the end, he opened up first,
Yeah.
which a man would never.
I remember you called away with that, like,
Yeah.
whoa, what? That was the only thing you took from the first time you
I
watched
was
it.
like, a man would never.
Where is it? They make a joke after they leave the Partners in Crisis, the therapy thing. There was a joke, and they go, "Hey Nick, what does the fox say?"
Yeah.
Again, a throwback to our generation because of the song. What does the fox say? Yeah. So I loved that. They knew their audience, absolutely smashed it. So during this time, we kind of get a split screen of like two different narratives. Judy goes on her phone, she studies, she's a
And
hard
she
worker.
like talks to her family.
Exactly. Nick, he's scranning his face with peanut butter.
Literally me and you. You would go home and do like an assignment and like talk to your
Make
mom.
notes about this podcast.
Yeah, then
that's so real. Actually thinking
and
about
then
it.
I'm home watching movies and
Just
eating.
putting your feet up.
Yeah.
Did you see on the TV? It's so clever. They had Huluzu rather than Hululu.
Yeah.
And I actually wrote down. Let's see. They had for Disney. It was Disney
Yeah.
for like deer. Star Wars was Star Wars.
Mhm.
Clever. Marvel Studios was Mammal Studios. Pixar was Pixar. And Nat Geo was Rat Geo. Hamilton was Ham-Alton. Very clever. And then Die Hard was Die Hard. So
I heard.
someone really sat in that boardroom and went, I've got it. We're going to have Pixar for Pixar.
Yeah.
We're going to have Ham-Alton.
That
And,
would
like,
be again. That would be you would be like yeah.
but like, it's so crazy because I've only this year, after going to the Spider-Man Brand New Day set, realised how much goes into set design. So when you think that like they must have had separate teams during production just to focus on what you see in the background,
Yeah.
what you see on the like you only see that for 2 seconds, but someone's had to think of those puns and write
I
them
know.
and design
I know
them.
that.
It's-
And those few seconds change everything because again, you know me.
yeah.
I notice everything.
Like the Easter eggs and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm gonna post these like little screenshots with the episode as
Yeah.
well for people to see. But so yeah, Nick is watching telly, chilling on Huluzu.
That's me.
Judy also puts the telly on while she's studying, and she puts on a news report. It does actually. There's a
That's me and you.
but there's a channel on the news report. Like she flicks through the channels, and at the very start it was squeal or no squeal, something like
Yeah.
that. But then you also hear a snippet of what does the frog say, and I was like, that further supported that it was aimed right at us.
Yeah.
There was the weather forecast with Bob Tiger, which
Yeah.
I was thought it was clever though because they made that joke of today's weather is everything because they're all obviously got their own weathers in the different biomes. So I thought that was really clever. She leaves the news channel on and continues to study in a dummies like partner for dummies.
Yeah,
book,
dummies
which-
for partners.
That's right, yeah. On the news report, we learn a little bit more about this weather wall and the links to a possible snake that is maybe, trying to find a journal. That takes Judy's interest because she's like, hang on a minute, I saw some snake skin. I think something's going on here. She goes on Zoogle. Again, another fantastic pun. For more information, again, Nibbles Maplestick, the beaver who runs the podcast, pops up and is there going, the Linksleys have framed the snake. When Judy links the snake to the news report, she instantly calls Nick. Nick still couldn't care less. He's there on the phone like, yeah, it's all right, carrots. He constantly calls her carrots, which is so sweet.
He has her on the phone as carrots.
Yeah, yes, that's right. It was on the desk. Answers the phone to carrots. He's like, yeah, don't worry about it, don't worry. She ends up on a door, at his door, on the call.
Me and you, because you would end up at my door.
She goes, right, I love this bit. She pops her head in and goes, Jesus, no wonder why you don't invite me here. Takes a photo on her phone. I was like, clever. And then one thing I thought was really cool that they didn't do in the first movie was actually make Nick's tail more involved, which sounds weird, but the way they lifted up the tail to block her view. Then Judy basically proposed that she wants to go to this gala for the Zootennial, that they called it, to try and get some more information on the snake, because if snakes are banished, she wants to make sure that there's no snakes in Zootropolis. She's a good cop, right? Nick hesitates, but still he comes anyway, because again, he's nonchalant, he don't care.
It's supportive.
Basically you.
It's a supportive man.
Yeah, he's just, I'm coming along, it's fine. This is where we enter the next phase of the story, where we get to learn a little bit more. We're first introduced to Shakira's new song, Zoo, because she plays Gazelle, as she did in the first movie, as they arrive at the gala. We also get a little feature of the donut cop, Clawhauser, from the first movie. We also see Mr. Big. Mayor Winddancer is also there, and he's very arrogant, isn't he? He gets on the red carpet, he's like, yep, take a photo, take a photo, take a photo, take a photo, yep. Yeah. Do you like my impression?
Perfect
Take a photo, take a photo.
Perfect impression.
Linksley is also present. Of course, it's an event hosted by him, and he is now presented as a friendly, diplomatic, older Lynx. Very nice guy. Anyway, they arrive at the gala. Judy finds the same van that was in the news report and that she also saw in the first case. She wants to go check it out. Do you remember the joke Nick made? Very clever joke.
What did he say?
So he goes, oh my God, a viper! And he goes to the window wiper, pulls and goes, a window viper. I was like, very clever.
I love
Classic
Nick.
Window vipers. Then Judy rolls her eyes at the joke as always, spots a back door that was open. They both decide to get dressed into some classic spyware with their suits. I've got a reference, question mark, but I want to see if you'll get it first. Yellow dress, suit.
How to Lose a Man in this?
It's your favourite film?
No, I don't think.
You don't think?
Yeah, but they also search up How to Lose a Man in 10 Days.
The reference I took was La La Land, but you're presenting it as How to... And that actually does kind of match with the storyline, because she does a lot of things to try and lose him, really.
And How to Lose a Man in 10 Days is more classic than La La Land.
Okay.
People in our generation, if you ask them, have you watched La La Land? They'll probably say no, but if you ask them, have you watched How to Lose a Man in 10 Days? They'll probably say yes, because it's a classic rom-com.
Thank you for spreading some light onto How to Lose a Man in 10 Days.
Of course, because you're uneducated.
I'm uneducated.
Plus, in How to Lose a Man in 10 Days, she had her hair up, like Judy.
Oh.
In La La Land, she always had her hair down.
Okay, maybe you're onto
See the
something
picture?
then. Okay, fair. You know what? Fair enough. I have been educated. I'm feeling I can come away with something I've learned
That
about.
is
this film.
why I'm in this podcast.
Absolutely. Judy gets a closer look at the Weatherwall book, just in case a snake steals it, of course, which is allegedly patented by Ebenezer Linksley. I loved how they called him Ebenezer because it reminded me of Ebenezer Scrooge. She bumps into the youngest outcast, Linksley Porbert. What did I say to you?
Oh.
Because I'm so proud about
As
it.
soon as he came up,
Yeah.
she was like, she pointed at the screen and she whispered to me, "That's a bad guy."
Never seen this movie before. Like, I've seen the first one, obviously, but I'd never seen the
then-
second one at this point.
And then I was like, nah.
You're like, no, not him, not him. And I was like,
Because he was played by Andy Samberg.
Yeah, you did notice that. You were like, that's Jake Peralta from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I was like, oh, yeah, it is. You were very quick
So
with the
I
actor
literally
on that
cannot
one.
see Andy Samberg as... Because he also played Johnny from Hotel Transylvania.
Oh, yeah, Hotel blah, blah, blah.
So I literally cannot see him playing a villain.
No.
So I was like, nah.
Well, for me, It
Plus,
was
they did
it was
before.
really
They did it before. The most trusting becomes the villain.
yeah. But that's why I love Zootropolis. I knew that they were going to have a plot twist, otherwise it wouldn't be Zootropolis.
No, I knew there was a plot twist. I just didn't think they would do the same thing again.
Hmm.
Because didn't Judy also trust
Poor bit.
the other
Oh.
girl in her first movie?
May Weather. Yeah.
Didn't she also trust her?
Yeah.
And then she backstabbed her?
Yeah.
Same thing happens again.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, nah, I don't think they'll do it again.
I noticed how nervous and twitchy he was, and I thought that my head
I
went.
just thought he had like condition or something, just falling over his
Oh
words.
yeah,
and
like he
everything.
was really clumsy and nervous. My head was like, the animators have overly tried to make him nice enough for Judy to trust them, and it's always the ones you trust the first.
Same thing
Stab
with
you in the back. The only
with
thing with
Billweather.
the first movie was she came relevant later on, whereas Porbit was quickly established first. So I can understand why a lot of people are like, I don't think he's going to be the bad guy because it's so soon. I love their dynamic, Judy and Porbit.
Nick got jealous.
Nick got jealous. That's where I was coming on to it. Nick made a joke. Judy doesn't laugh about it.
Yeah.
Porbit makes the same joke.
She
Laughs about it.
Laughs. And then
I
Nick
would
is
feel
like,
jealous. That would
and then
annoy
Nick is
me.
like, I'm in the same joke.
She turns him off.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Poor Nick. This whole movie,
Yeah,
poor
what
Nick.
did he do? He's like, he's here. He doesn't want to be here. He's wearing a suit. He doesn't really want to wear a
Justice
suit.
for Nick.
Yeah. Honestly,
Justice
save
for
Nick. But during the time, of course, it always happens when you turn the communications off with somebody. Something serious happens. Nick finds the snake skin, knowing that the snake is now definitely at this venue wanting that weather journal. Again, dual narrative. Porbit's siblings bully him off the stage, so we're seeing him as an outcast.
Fun fact: Robert's siblings are played by Macaulay Culkin
Yes, yeah.
and
Home Alone.
and Brenda Song from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, but she's his wife, which is weird because they're playing siblings.
Yikes. Yikes. You know, actually, while we're talking about the siblings, they reminded me of the Siamese twins from Lady and the Tramp because they were so sinister the way they kind of worked with things. But yeah, no, Porbit's presented as the outcast of the family.
Yeah.
He's trying to desperately seek their approval, and no one likes him, unfortunately.
Including his dad.
Nick finds a snake. He tries to communicate with Judy because Judy was very selfish and turned him
Yeah.
off. Didn't hear him. Nick bumps into Chief Bogo. Of course he
Poor
does.
Nick.
I know.
Because he was getting dragged, wasn't he?
He was the way he grabbed the back of his collar.
And he was getting dragged while Judy's like they're flirting with Robert
Yeah.
and forgetting about the mission that she dragged Nick to do.
Literally, like, yeah, he was like, I'm going to bring you here, you're going to get me to the VIP zone, and then we're just going to absolutely blank you.
Yeah. And
was
like
wild.
he was like he Nick is so understanding. Poor Nick.
Yeah. This
It's just me talking about
poor Nick.
Judy. Then
You said at the very start, you're Judy, and then halfway through, I hate Judy, I hate the girl. I'm like, wow, I'm right here. Like, wow.
I hate you.
No, I wouldn't be that shady though. Like, it's with what Nick's
I'd
done.
actually slap if you drag me somewhere and then you just
Bye.
flirt with someone and be like, what's the point of me here?
Third wheeling. But I love the dynamic with Chief Bogo because he does not take it in this movie, does he? He's
Yeah.
like, right, yeah, no, you're done. Grabs him by the collar, tracks him out. He's like, whereas he never did that in the first movie. He's like, he was quite a pushover, but this second one, he was so done. Clever Nick still manages to communicate despite
kicks-
everything. He kicks a spotlight and shines it on the snake. Snake
Again,
is like,
justice for Nick.
yeah.
Because he reminded her.
Still then, he's doing the right thing, isn't he?
Judy is flirting with the bad guy.
Yeah, that's true. That when you put it like that, got a bad taste in men. So do I. Billy Loomis.
Oh,
Every episode, I'm gonna mention it. Oh my gosh. We get a snake reveal. Everyone points at the snake. Panics.
in my boot.
There's a snake map. Yeah, Toy Story reference. Snake kidnaps Ebenezer Linksley and the Weatherwall book. When they're in the pursuit of the snake, we don't actually know the snake's name at this point. They run through a kitchen. Do you remember what happens in the kitchen? Ratatouille.
Oh yeah.
It's only a quick snippet, but
It's
there's
a
an Easter
lion
egg to. That's right. It's an Easter egg to the Ratatouille movie where there's a rat
Yeah.
just in the.
People were laughing at that,
That was
too.
so. It got such a laugh. Eventually, Judy catches up with the snake. Nick is probably still being dragged out by Bogo at this point.
He always is poor Nick.
Literally, he comes in later. The snake clarifies his intentions because although we think he is a bad guy at this point, the snake goes.
He isn't.
He isn't, exactly. He doesn't want to hurt the Linksleys. He presents himself as a misunderstood good guy and explains why he wants a journal, which he basically says to bring his family home. Although we don't know why exactly. Judy seems to trust the snake's words. it then created a bit of a moral dilemma for Judy. Does she trust the snake or the lynx, Liz?
So I was saying this fun fact about the actor who played the snake. I think his name is Ki-Wan something.
Yes, yeah.
He
I
was
love his voice. I didn't realise he actually talks like the snake in real life, and I thought he's got such a sweet voice.
he was in The Goonies, I think.
Okay.
And it was like a huge movie back in the day. And he like worked with Steven Spielberg and everything. It was great. But after, he couldn't get any roles because he was like Asian.
Okay.
And he fell off the Hollywood wagon. But then he got back on when he got casted in Everything Everywhere All at Once. And that's the first time he won an Oscar.
Wow.
And in his speech, he was crying.
Oh, no, that is really sweet. He's very deserving as well because his voice acting.
And he's so humble. He is so humble.
I've seen little like snippets of press releases and things that he's done, and he
so
seems like a
humble.
very
I love
likable
him.
guy. No, thank you for spreading some light on that. That's really nice. But after a heartfelt speech with Gary the Snake, who comes in finally?
Nick.
Nick. Do you remember he hits him on the head with a frying pan and knocks him out? He just suddenly spawned in and was
That's
like,
the theatre
"That's
punch.
enough of that." Tangled reference with the frying pan. It's so heavy with Easter eggs and references to other Disney films.
I love when we do a lot of Easter eggs
Yeah.
and you can tell, actually, you don't have to think.
I feel like you can watch it 5 times over
And you'll still keep
still
getting...
see it, definitely. So at this point, the Lynxley wants to kill the snake and burn the journal. So that's where Judy is like, okay, you're bad. I'm going to side with the snake now because that's really wrong to just kill a snake, burn the journal. Lynxley is presented as corrupt and controlling. I don't know about you, but when I watched it back the second time, I was very aware of the lighting they had. So Judy and Nick looked vulnerable with the lighting behind them because they were in front of a fireplace, whereas all the Lynxleys, they had lighting coming from the bottom.
Yeah.
So their faces was illuminated, and it was just a classic villain.
And then the
glow.
whole fire thing in front of them.
Yeah, when Judy sets the building on fire, as you do. It reminds...
Judy thing.
Say that again?
The normal Judy thing.
Yeah, just setting fire to things. Kind of a bit of a Lion King move as well, because Scar kicks fire. Don't know why it made me think of that, but Judy, uses the fire to stun the Lynxleys. The snake wakes up because the snake is very dependent on heat. So when he gets warmed up, he's suddenly alive. Chief Bogo finally comes in. The second he walks in, Gary the snake accidentally knocks him out with venom.
Because Nick grabs his tail.
Spins it.
And then he starts
Lassos him.
freaking out and the whole snake was spinning.
That's right. Yeah. And like poor Chief Bogo got knocked out, but I thought it was in terms of the actual narrative, they did need Chief Bogo gone because he would be a hindrance if he was alive and well. So I love the fact that they had him unconscious for a little bit just so that they could carry on with the story. Judy and Nick get framed for attacking Lynxley and they're now presented as fugitives. The snake runs off. Judy manages to take the journal, and then Nick and Wilde both pursue together as the iconic Bunny Fox team.
Yeah.
We also see a little glimpse of someone is working with the snake. I wonder who. Ooh, okay. So now we're entering the next scene, the next stage of this journey. Mr. Big, the small little mouse guy. I noticed it was the same car as the first movie.
Yeah.
29THD03. That's the registration.
I mean, if you got a good car, why change it?
Exactly. I did try and do some research to see if that was an Easter egg. I couldn't find anything. No one was able to figure out what that registration meant, but I think it was probably maybe a date linked to the director or a birthday or something. Just thought that was cool. Lynxley talks with the Mayor Windancer, and tells them that he wants Nick and Judy killed. What a dark, back to classic dark
Kill
Disney. Kill them. And it also shows how influential he is within the story, because the Lynxley says that he basically gave Mayor Windancer the role of mayor. So he's very, very powerful. Exactly. He wants the journal back. The journal back. Snake, Judy, and Nick gone. Anyway, they're in the back of a trunk because Mr. Big decides to help them. Judy's phone rings. I loved this part where Judy doesn't answer the phone. Then the dad messages and says, "I've just seen you on the news." Laughing emoji. Poo emoji. Oh wait, wrong emoji. Then he sends the crying emoji. I thought that was, again, so relatable because I have had conversations with my dad in particular where he's done that. So
and then
they know their
grabs
audience.
her phone and just
Smashes it. He's like, "Yep, nope, not happening again." Which throw back to the first movie where it was Judy's phone that actually exposes them. So they learned their lesson. Fair play to Nick for being switched on and noticing that. Nick also, I loved how The first journey was very much, you've got to follow the cop and you've got to be a cop, whereas Nick was like, welcome to my world now, you're a fugitive, we know what's happening. As soon as the trunk opens, Nick says, Raymond, and is that Kevin? Which is, again, an exact copy and paste of the first movie, and even the way they grab their necks.
Yeah.
I love the throwbacks and the references to the first. Then they get taken to a illegitimate purse-making shop, which I don't know if you saw, but in the back, Gucci, but it was Ganucci, which is ran by Mr. Big's daughter, who we also saw in the first movie.
But now he has a granddaughter.
They offer them to have a disguise in a truck out of town because they're obviously criminal bosses. Mr. Big shares his concerns over how territorial the Lynxleys are, further confirming that the Lynxleys are
He was
definitely
actually
the villains.
helping them.
He was really nice. Well, they both, although they were a little bit aggressive when they were talking to them, you know, like, kiss the ring, kiss it, kiss it, kiss the ring. But they were really helpful with Nick and Judy. But Mr. Big does give a word of advice by saying, you don't fight the cats, you leave.
Yeah.
I want to know why he went to the gala. was he doing shady
He probably went to the
deals?
garden not to like disrespect them or anything.
Okay, keep the connections going, keep the ties. Nick at this stage wants to get out of town and take the truck and go into disguises and leave, basically. Judy, still being
What
Judy.
was their names, Rick?
Rick
Wild?
Wild, Trudy Cabbage Patch.
That's so funny.
I love how, like, again, Nick is like, I can be Rick Wild, it's fine.
Yeah, and he
Trudy
was like
Cabbage
ready.
Patch.
He wore the stuff and everything.
Mustache, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Nick was very happy to leave just because he just doesn't want the headache. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Judy was like, no, we will fight for the snakes. We are going to make the world a better place. We're going. So there is a little bit of a conflict there.
Yeah.
Mr. Big's daughter does give them the connection of Nibbles Maplestick, who has already appeared twice beforehand.
Us.
Us, the crazy podcast lady, to help finding snakes in Marsh Market. Judy calls her. Again, Nick is like, no, there's a van there. We need to go in the van and leave. Judy wins the argument, as always. No surprises. Again, referring to their very dysfunctional duo
Because
dynamic.
Nick is so nice.
He's just a nice, nonchalant Nick.
Justice for
Judy
Nick.
says the way he wins him over was by saying 24 hours. We'll try 24 hours in my plan. If it doesn't work, we'll go away. That's also a throwback to the first movie again, when Bogo was like, you have 48 hours to complete the case. So I like how they keep it consistent by giving us a time frame. Nibbles arrives in the car, again, very crazy beaver, starts recording a clip for their podcast. I was like, I love your brain thinking with recording. May as well capitalise on the experience if you've got two of the most awesome cops in your car. She also, I've got it written down now, takes two to tango, threesome to be some. It's like, right, okay.
And a foursome too.
But yeah, a four-way to bust your doorway.
Yeah.
That's the one that she says later. I was like, is that an appropriate joke?
Not for kids,
It's-
more for
let's say
adults
if a
to
kid-
make you laugh.
Mummy, it takes two to tango and a threesome to beat.
Imagine
My kid said that. I'd be like, what have you been watching? I'm also Chopia too. Yeah, that was, again, very...
He also
very
got
clever.
that laugh out of everyone.
Yeah. Even I was there like, wait, did they just say threesome? What?
Yeah.
Sorry? But Nibbles introduces them to the new biome of Marsh Market. Oh, we've not been to Marsh Market before, where there's sea lions, lizards, dolphins, snakes, hippos was another one. Nick is, I have to admit, a little bit arrogant at this point because he's there like, I know what I'm doing. I'm so nonchalant. You have to give the sea lion a coin and everything's fine.
Oh, yeah.
No, he learns very quickly that he, in fact, does not know the dynamics of this new biome, which further supports the need for Nibbles' character to be there. This is one Easter egg I pointed out to you during the
Oh,
movie.
yeah,
Do you
yeah.
remember? They stood on this like wooden plank in a lake, and right
they were
behind.
walking.
That's right. And I was like, oh my gosh! In the back it says Hook's Bait and Tackle and Ariel's Grotto. I
Yeah.
was like, look, Disney movie in the back, Disney movie. So we spotted that. Yeah, Captain Hook was referenced. Ariel from
Yeah. The Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid, that's the one. We also, again, see that the snake and the mysterious figure, who we still don't know who's mysterious,
Or watching them.
are watching them, and it's mostly to get the journal from them. We're later introduced then to the hidden reptile hideout. It reminded me of Rango. If you've ever seen Rango.
Yeah, almost immediately. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna lift his
What a throwback.
he's gonna lift his head up, and we're gonna see Rango.
I thought the same thing. I was like, what if they're actually going to have a little Rango reference? Nibbles beforehand warns them to eat whatever they give, as it's a sign of disrespect not to. Then they meet Jesus, which was just a lizard. I don't know what type of lizard he was. Gives them a bowl of worms. They eat it. Turns out it was just a really elaborate prank. got a lot of laughs in that cinema. Jesus gives light on why all the reptiles and snakes were banished from Zootropolis, because an incident happened years ago when a snake was fanged. Linksley's took over from there. He suggests that whatever the snake wants a journal for must be very important in keeping the reptiles and snakes alive. He also shares his worries that Linksley's want to expand the tundra biome, which is very cold and wintry, and eradicate marsh market out of all of its animals. This strengthens the need for Judy to save the day. The cops, the ZBD, had followed Nick and Judy to the reptile hideout. Jesus believes that they can save all the reptiles and decides to scarp her.
He runs on the water with me.
He does, doesn't he? That was the way he just like, okay, bye! And he runs off.
On the water.
It's like, you're sorted, that's fine. Everyone else can struggle. Nick and Judy go on the run again, along with Nibbles this time. The snake appears and manages to steal the journal and also
And he was
runs.
like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, but I'm off. So it ends up as one big chain. You've got the ZPD running after Nick and Judy. Nick and Judy have to carry the snake and this mysterious character.
The chain is more like Judy's after the snake, Nick is after Judy, and then the ZPD is after both.
Yes.
Where Nick is trying to stop her.
Technically, the ZPD's after all of them. Two things to mention real quick, more references. You know the hippo cops?
Yeah.
They break a platform and the apples fall in their mouth. Hungry hippo reference.
I thought of that immediately.
That was clever. Then there's also a weasel who I believe was in the first movie selling knockoffs of movies. You had Indy Llama Jones wrangled in Floats and 12. And so that was clever. Nick and Judy lose a snake and end up in the middle of nowhere, like you said, through the red line of water. Nick confronts Judy and acknowledges he is owed an apology for ignoring his word. Fair play to Nick for asserting himself, by the way.
But what does Judy say? Oh yeah, you don't have to apologize.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So she's like, I think some apologies are in order. And she's like, oh, Nick, it's okay. I know we didn't get the snake. And he's like, no, not me sorry. You sorry. That's what he said. And then Judy completely blanks him and looks at her next clue to get the snake. So I was like, right, even now Judy's head is still prioritised on the case more than she is Nick. They get the help from mountain goats. They go up to Honeymoon Lodge. Clever how they said Honeymoon Lodge rather than Goat Lodge or something like that, referencing their dynamic. Nick still doesn't want to go, but goes along with it for the sake of Judy.
And he says he does the funniest thing ever.
Oh, yeah.
My dumb buddy.
Yeah, so there's the pen from the first movie of the still same recording of, I'm such a dumb bunny.
You know what's so sweet about Nick?
Go on.
He keeps it close to him at all times.
That's true.
And
Always has
does
that
Judy
pen.
have anything about Nick in her flat?
I don't think so.
Exactly.
That shows,
Whereas
doesn't it?
he has a little plaque to put the pen in.
That's right. Yeah, that is right.
So I don't know why when the pen broke, he went to apologize to Judy.
That's right, because she walks off and she's like, right, yeah, okay, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
And then he was like, carrots, wait.
Yeah.
I loved it, how it was a visual metaphor for the fact that the pen had broken. And it's almost, I know it sounds weird, but the pen fell on the rocks and it almost reminded me of how their friendship is on the rocks now because of that. And again, it's still contradictory because they're both going to the honeymoon lodge. So like, we're no longer friends, but we're in a honeymoon phase. So that's how it goes, I guess. At this time, Judy learns the truth about finding the snake's hideout, confirming that the Lynxes had framed the snakes and removed them from Zootropolis and planned to do the same with reptiles and the other amphibians. Nick gets incredibly worried now that the police are on their tail, tries to warn Judy, still does not listen, does she?
Yeah.
He's like, really like...
He literally is like, I don't think this is worth dying for. And then she was like, oh... So then we're not friends. I'm like, bro.
Whoa. He was like, he actually had a valid point.
Maybe, and then she was like, oh, we shouldn't be partners. Bro!
So quick to let go, wasn't she?
Yeah.
He says, I don't care about the case. It's not worth dying for. Judy says the world needs brave people and to do the right thing, which presents her as very optimistic.
Yeah.
Nick is a bit more of a realist / pessimist. The world is what it is, Carrots. Being a hero doesn't make a difference. And I'm like, ouch. Like, from a wider standpoint, I know a lot of people do have that perception that you can't do anything about problems. And when you think of like impact documentaries and things like that, I'm like, no, you can make a difference. I'm very, I don't like how Judy handled it, but I am very much on the same wavelength as Judy. I'm like, I think
I'm
make
like,
a difference.
Nick is more right in this one.
He is realistic to an extent, but I think you do need brave people to put yourself out there and make a difference. So I was very torn between that. Again, talking about lighting, they have split lighting on them. Half of their face dark, half of their face is light. That was a really clever metaphor for the fact that they're about to separate and split. Just a little thing to throw in there. Nick gets taken by the police. Judy gets saved by the snake. And the mystery character all along is revealed to be none other than Paurbert, the person I said was a villain at the start.
Nick sacrifices himself.
They get separated. Paulbert's introduced. Now they're a trio. You've got Paurbert, Gary, Judy. They go to an arid desert climate. the opposite to the tundra where the main Lynxleys live.
Mm.
Nick gets interrogated. He's even still making jokes at this point. Hats off to him. Lynxley confronts him, takes control, and says that he will be killing Judy and frame him further if he doesn't reveal where Judy is now.
And he just doesn't.
Yeah, Nick refuses.
Yeah,
Hats off to him. Lynxley puts his claws into
I know.
Nick. Do you
I
know?
saw.
Do you know which reference?
What does this reference?
Lion King.
Oh,
You know when Mufasa's on the cliff and Scar. I was there like it, that's awesome. The rest of the Lynx's family at this point also discover that Porbert is helping them. Oh no. So the Lynxes are after Porbert and the ZPD are after everybody else apparently. I have to admit, Gary cuddling up to Judy did make me cringe on multiple occasions because snakes are known for eating rabbits and constricting them. So when I was like, oh, this looks a little bit questionable, you're about to eat poor Judy. Porbert and Gary explain how they became a duo. Again, a complete separate thing that I could be reading into, but in terms of character design, Porbert's whiskers were very crooked,
Yeah.
whereas his family's were very straight, and I thought this was a metaphor to explain how twitchy and erratic and all over the place Porbert is, whereas his family have got their head straight like their whiskers. Gary gets a chance to look at the journal and finds out the secret that his home, like the hidden location of where the snakes used to live, had been removed by the Lynxlers and frozen over with the tundra stuff. Zootropolis wasn't initially made by mammals, as previously thought, but by a snake. Plot twist. So it basically the tale continues on where we learned that the actual patent made by Lynxley was false. It was actually Gary's grandmother who made it. So the rest of the journey is them having to go find this old location to recover the patent to save the day and bring the snakes back.
By the way, guys, I'm like extra quiet because I'm blanking half of the day today. I don't know why.
So they discover
The
where
only thing I know is that I don't like Judy in this movie.
you're just not a fan of Judy.
No, I don't like Judy in this movie.
So now that they've established what they need to do with recovering the old patent, Porbert ends up leaving his phone on at some point.
Yeah.
As we know from the first movie, you do not keep your phone on you. His family started tracking Porbert, so they were able, the ZPD were on their tail all over again. Nick's put into jail. Nibbles is also here. Nibbles Maplestick. Nick tries to leave.
Him.
Say that again?
She helped him.
She did, didn't she? She eats part of a broom and then makes a key.
I knew she was gonna do that as soon as I saw the broom. I was like, oh, she's
Gonna
a...
make a key. My head was like, she surely she can just get out of the bars because she was small enough to. So I like how they kind of did that. There's a little bellwether cameo.
Yeah.
The sheep.
Oh my god, that's...
Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I saw it, I was like, oh my god.
With that glass, like,
Yeah.
all the circles in it. I literally thought the same. That's what I was like,
Silence
I've got to
of the
throw that
Lambs.
in there.
Silence of the... Oh
That's
my
right.
god.
Yes, with
It
the
was so
Sterling,
perfect.
Starling.
And like she was
Yeah.
standing with her hands behind her back like Hannibal Lecter was.
Yeah, that was, again, there's so many references in this movie. It's great. We haven't even, we still got more. I know there's one you're going to love talking about later with the maze.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So on their escape, Nick somehow lets out all the other prisoners too. Well done, Nick, including the scary sheep of Bellwether.
Yeah.
They call Flash to come over and drive them to the other guys so that they can catch up. Flash, 100-yard dash.
Yeah.
Of course, it was great to see him. Nick also calls Clawhauser, the cheater, again, that we mentioned in the first movie, asking if they can track the ZPD so they can catch up. Clawhauser decides to help. Right, I mentioned this right after the movie. On the computer, there's some sticky notes. In the first movie, there were sticky notes on a computer, and it said, "Call Doug." Doug later turns out to be a villain in the movie, which, if you were looking for it, you'd have known that Bellwether was on the evil side from the start.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, sticky notes! I've got to make sure I can get the sticky notes. This movie, on one sticky note, it says there is no place like, and it had an IP address of 127.0.01.
Yeah.
I remembered the number, recited it in my head, came out, Googled it afterwards, and it said the IP address is a loop-back address that references to your own personal computer. So basically, what it was saying is there's no place like home.
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz reference. Wicked was released just last week.
There's no
Place
like home.
So I thought, very clever nod to the fact that Wicked has just been released in such a casual, subtle way as well on the sticky note. Judy, Porbert and Gary are now getting chased by the ZPD. They decide to gate crash a festival to reach their next goal.
Did you see the festival's name?
Was it The Burning Mammal? Something like that. I saw you smile when it came
up.
up.
Burning Man?
I feel like I've
It's a
heard of it.
festival. Burning Man is a festival. Oh my god, I loved it when I saw this.
I noticed your face light up when it came up. I did mean to ask you about
It's a
that.
festival in a desert.
Okay, so
when I saw
complete-
Burning Mammal, I was like, oh my god!
they've absolutely done their research. That's all I'm saying. This movie is so thought out. That's why I love it so much. Yeah, so Lynxley is still, I want to kill them. He's not even going to give them leeway. He just wants them dead. He makes Hogbottom, the Scottish officer,
Yeah.
tried to shoot Judy. She accidentally, she goes not to, but then presses the button. Nick and Flash, iconic timing, save them with the car as they drive in.
Oh my
that
god,
got
you know
such
what
a
would
laugh.
be more like awesome?
Go on.
If I wanted it's so morbid, but I wanted Nick to get shot.
Okay.
And then Judy's like, oh, Nick!
To actually like
Yeah, like to.
make her brain
Yeah.
realise what she's missed. That
Yeah.
is an interesting. Maybe that could happen in the second one, or third
Maybe.
one. That's an interesting trope.
Probably will because Judy again is selfish.
Yeah, I think she needs to really appreciate what she's got in front of her, hasn't
Like
she?
Nick is on the verge of dying, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
But he constantly is, isn't he? This whole journey is him like almost dying. Even in the
Saving
water,
her.
the red line, she didn't even think about Nick. He just came anyway.
He was saving her.
Yeah. Judy and the gang make it into the weather wall, which even then Nick gets locked outside. In like yeah.
He almost died also.
Nibbles is able to catch up. Nick gets separated. They successfully manage to switch on the switch to locate the lighthouse, which had the hidden patent in. Judy's worried that Nick can't get in. She then Nick gets in. I love this bit. Okay, you're gonna know what's happening.
Yeah.
She then goes, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Last case there was kind of a twist." Stabs her in the neck. Poor Bert switches on Judy, stabs her in the neck. And what did I do to you in that cinema?
So Shannon was sitting next to me, and as you guys know, she caught it in the beginning.
I said it way at the start.
So when it happened, everyone around us gasped, and then Shannon turns around, grabs my shoulders, and starts shaking me violently. To the point where I felt like the whole
Road
row
wobble.
was moving at the same time, and I was like, yeah, I get it.
I was just like,
I don't know if you know this, but at the end of the movie, when the lights came on, I looked behind us, and all the girls were looking at me because they saw you like shaking me violently.
I was just so excited because I remember what happened was is the very start I said he's the bad guy and you were like no, and then when he's presented as the mysterious good guy who's helping the snake,
Yeah.
you were like, see what did I tell you, and I was just there sat quietly like I'm still open-minded. Then when he switches up, that's when I was like, that was so loud, I'm so sorry. I told you this was going to happen. So I felt, I have to admit, very smug in that moment. I was like,
I literally saw my
Animositopia.
I literally saw my life flash before my eyes when that happened.
Poor Bit reveals himself as the real villain. He wanted his family's approval all along, so worked with them to get as far as finding the original patent, and then leaving them out in the cold, as he states. This reminded me so much of Frozen.
Oh my god.
Okay, Judy was struggling to move, like Anna when she was frozen in Frozen. Olaf was not able to help, a bit like Carrie. Nick was in grave danger, like Elsa. Porbert was like Hans, after taking a different side.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, there's such a parallel here. It's so cool. Judy tries one last convincing by grabbing Porbert's leg. You can be different. The coldest lines ever. I don't want to be different. Whoa. It was that moment when he did the plot twist. I was just so impressed with it. You did it again, Zootropolis, you did it again. Porbert goes on a rampage to try and basically kill everybody else, including Nick and Nibbles. What a duo, by the way, Nick and Nibbles. He knocks out Nibbles and has a fight with
I
Nick.
should have seen that coming.
Yeah, that's what he was like, damn, I should have seen that coming. Yeah, that was, fair play to Nibbles, though. He was just like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess it's happening. Can't do much about it. I'll just fall on the floor.
Yeah.
I realised at this part, Nick had no idea who Gary was.
Yeah.
Like, he knew the snake, but he didn't know Gary's name was Gary. And then he also didn't know any of the context behind Porbert. He all he knows is he had a brief conversation with Judy, but doesn't know that he was helping them, doesn't know that he was this mysterious guy who'd been following them. So I thought it was really interesting that Lick was so out the loop, and all of a sudden this guy, Linksley, is coming over with a knife thing, like the venom to stab him.
Nick like holds his
He
gun.
does, doesn't he? Yeah, they're having a... Considering animal-wise, a lynx is undoubtedly heavier and like stronger than a fox is. Eventually, Gary gains the warmth from Judy to help her. ZBD come in to arrest Judy and Gary, but somehow Gary...
God.
He was on X
God
Games
knows.
mode.
God knows
Yeah.
how he
He's
did
like,
it.
had a little bit of warmth and suddenly he's on crack. He's like spinning around, knocking everybody out. Fair play, hats off to Gary. This is all while Porbert and Nick are having a fight on a cliff. During the fight, Nick even manages to...
He is putting himself on the line.
Yes. He puts himself on the line, but he then is selfless enough to prioritise Judy with the venom, not himself, who was about to be stabbed with it.
And like when it went to the edge,
Yeah.
he knew there was a possibility
That's right.
that he would die.
Would die for her.
he pushed himself. He was like, I don't care.
Even Porbert says, which was exactly what Nick said earlier, it's not worth dying for.
Yeah.
Nick was like, let's agree to disagree, and then he
Yeah.
goes for it. So
And then the cliff breaks, but he gets the venom to
Judy and still
the-
manages to save her.
anti-venom, sorry.
That's right. I afterwards, this scene, because all of a sudden it was so quick. Judy gets stabbed in the neck with a venom. Stab me in the heart was the joke, wasn't it? She gets stabbed in the heart.
The girl who voiced Stab Me in the Heart is Moana.
Oh, I did know that. I think she had a little cat. I saw a TikTok on that earlier. I'm glad you mentioned that. But it was so quick because she got the venom. She had the venom injected. All of a sudden, she's kicking all the police
And she
officers'
ran.
backsides, ran upstairs and saved Nick before the bridge collapsed.
I wanted him to fall.
This guy's gone through so much trauma, and you're like,
I wanted him
Let's
to fall.
make it
so
worse.
She's like, oh my god, I lost him. But then she sees that Pobart is alive, so there's a possibility that Nick is alive.
that could, yeah. You really want to see. You want Nick, Judy to really
I want
understand.
that point where it switches on Judy that Nick might not survive the one time
Yeah,
he tries to save her.
yeah. No, I do agree. I really think that could be a possibility in the third movie. She needs that
Please,
realization, doesn't
Please,
she?
I need that switch where she's like, okay, maybe I should start taking care of
It's-
myself instead of Nick taking care of me.
Yeah, no, definitely. Nick and Judy unite after being separated. They open up to each other properly, away from jokes and ignorance. That's where their heartfelt scene is. Porbert at this time has survived. He's running off to get the patent, and it soon becomes a race as Nick, Judy, Gary, and Nibbles are in pursuit of Porbert.
Sorry, did you notice when they went to grab the snowmobiles?
Yeah.
Did you see a polar bear? There was a polar bear.
Yeah.
Like manning the snowmobiles.
Yeah.
And he drinks Coke, and then Coca-Cola's mascot is a polar
Oh,
bear.
I remember you saying this now. Clever. Good spot with that
I
one.
don't know, maybe because I'm so old.
You
But I
just-
remember when I was a kid, there was like an ad of a polar bear drinking Coke, and I was like, hold on a second.
Hang on a minute, I'm sure. Yeah, no, good spot with that one. I would never have spotted that, and I've not seen it on social media, so you are the first. But no, they're all chasing Porbert. Porbert runs into his family, who believes he's a traitor. He then explains it was just an elaborate plan to get the patent. Nibbles interrupts the gang with, it takes a threesome to beat some, or a four-way to bust your doorway.
Yeah.
Definitely some innuendo there. Nibbles and Gary fight the Lynxleys with the mayor's help. Nick and Judy run after Porbert. Go on, say your reference with the maze.
The Shining.
The Shining. You
You
nudged me, you're like, The Shining, and I was like, ah.
Yeah, you never watched The Shining, did you?
I hadn't, no. I did feel it was very referenced. There was some sort of music
I was
tone
so
there.
happy. I was like, oh my god, The Shining.
Shining. Kubrick stare as well,
Mm.
which they obviously had in The Shining, but I was like, gotta love my Kubrick stare, going back to Billy again.
Oh my god, not this again.
Judy and Nick don't go through the maze, they decide to bulldoze it. Can't go over it,
And
can't go
Nick-
under
and
it,
Nick
go
is-
through it.
Shining.
Nick is driving this time, bit of a change. Gary and Nibbles eventually catch up. They take down Porbert in this epic montage, and I actually realised afterwards it makes sense why they only did 4 characters for the cinema merch, because the Odeon only gave out 4 cups, and the 4 cups were Gary, Nibbles, Judy, and Nick.
Ah.
So if Porbert was a good guy all along, you'd have expected a 5th cup for Porbert.
Yeah.
So, a little thing there. They successfully find the old snake home, which was really touching. They find the original patent to prove the snakes were innocent all along and return to the biome for snakes and reptiles to come back home with their families, which was very sweet. The ZPD takeover, they even have a reference to the 1995 movie Babe. One of the police officers, the pigs, taps the other one and goes, "That'll do, pig. That'll do." I was like, I'm sure that's a reference from somewhere. They summarise the successful case in the news report, a bit like they did in the first movie.
Yeah.
Nick and Judy give a speech about their successful growth in the Partners in Crisis group.
Yeah, like, give a little speech.
It's like a cyclical structure again, where they end up right back at the start. I noticed it this time, though, all of the room was filled up with the police officers
Yeah.
they were first grouped with, including the Zebros.
Yeah.
We learn that their names are Gene. They also tease another movie. They say that basically Nick goes, "Oh, do you want to do another case?" And then Judy was like, "Well, obviously, because you've let out 200 highly dangerous prisoners when you escape prison." So thought that was really clever. And I love how this movie had reasons for literally everything that they did. There was a little cutscene of Bellwether trying to escape to Outback Island, which we also get a cameo of Robert Irwin playing the koala.
Yeah, we do.
Nick and Judy intercept before she leaves the country. We then have which I absolutely love at the end of the first Zootropolis movie, an iconic party scene where Shakiro sings the whole
Oh my
song of
God.
Zoo with the credits.
We literally had to wait through the entire thing so Shannon can listen to the whole song.
You can't leave the movie until that song's over. But no, it was a genuinely phenomenal film. If you get a chance to watch it, as all of these different films I've said in the previous episodes, do watch it. This one, though, is definitely up there for me. So many references. There might have been references that we have not caught. So please do make sure to let us know if you've got any different Easter eggs that you've spotted. Anything else for you to add, Summer, on this?
The Zebras were voiced by WWE stars. Damn, am I the only one who watched
I don't watch
WWE?
WWE. My cousins do, though. They'll know. No, I love how collaborative this project has been. The
Yeah.
Easter eggs, the references, phenomenal. And like even the references then to horror movies like
The
The
Shining.
Silence of the Lambs, The Shining. It was and Ratatouille. But the other thing as well is apparently it's already done better than Wicked, and it's only just been released.
Whoa.
So that's crazy. It's the most highest grossing Disney movie. This is what our statistic was. And I did get a little bit of how much they made already. It opened to $556 million, the fourth biggest global opening ever. It's the most biggest animated movie opening ever. They had like a budget and it was something like 20 million. So the fact they got like loads and loads and loads was crazy, but very well deserved. So I definitely know they're going to do a Zootropolis 3, and I think it might be sooner than we expect. So looking forward to that.
Unless you want to watch it in 2030.
20, yeah, I said to you, didn't I, after, so I was like, oh my gosh, if they release it in 10 years' time, I'll probably have kids.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'll have my own little children to watch it with. So that just shows, doesn't it? But no, thank you very much for listening to today's episode. If you haven't already, please go ahead and give us a follow on Real Talks Podcast. That's on Instagram, Spotify, TikTok, and YouTube. Yeah, definitely give us a little follow on there. And please feel free to listen to our previous episodes. We don't actually know which film we're going to be talking about next week, so we're going to do probably a little reveal. Summer's going to be picking the movie for next week, so we will do a little bit of a reveal to let you guys know what that is over the coming days. But otherwise, thank you so much for listening. Bye!
Bye!